You know that feeling, right? You're just going about your day, maybe carrying the groceries in from the car, and you get this thing. It's not a pain, not really. It's more like a heaviness, like someone put a small warm brick right in the center of your chest and it just sits there for a minute, and then it's gone. And you stand there in the driveway, bag of groceries in your hand, and you think, that was new. But then you shake it off. You tell yourself it's just heartburn from the chili you had for lunch, or maybe you pulled a muscle sleeping wrong. It's probably nothing. Except, what if it's not? What if that fleeting weird sensation is your heart, the very engine of your entire life sending you a signal, a little tap on the shoulder, trying to tell you that it's time for a check-in? That's the question we're tackling today. Not the dramatic clutch your chest and fall down heart attacks you see in the movies. Our bodies are usually way more subtle than that, especially after 60. It's the whispers before the scream. And knowing how to listen to those whispers, that's the golden wisdom that can literally save your life. So let's talk about the signs, the real ones, the ones they don't always put on the pamphlets, that tell you it might be time to stop shrugging it off and go see a cardiologist. Think about it. This heart of yours, man, it's a marvel. It's been beating for you without a single day off for over 6 decades. Through first kisses, through hard goodbyes, through running to catch the bus and those late-night worries about the kids. It's the most loyal worker you've ever had. But like any piece of precision machinery with 65 years of mileage on it, it deserves a little respect, a little tune-up now and then. It's not about being frail or giving up on life. Heck no, it's the exact opposite. It's about being smart, taking control so you can be around for more grandkid birthdays, more fishing trips, more quiet mornings with your love. This isn't about fear. This is about power. The power of knowing. So the first sign, and this is a big one, is getting winded doing things that used to be no big deal. I'm not talking about running a marathon. I'm talking about the everyday stuff. Like walking up the flight of stairs to your bedroom. You used to do it 2 at a time, no problem. Now you get to the top and you have to pause for a second. Your heart is just pounding in your ears and you're a little short of breath. Or how about when you're making the bed? It feels like you just ran a sprint. That's your body telling you that your heart isn't pumping oxygen-rich blood as efficiently as it used to. It's struggling to keep up with basic demands. Your muscles are basically yelling, "Hey, we need more oxygen down here." And your heart is saying, "I'm working on it, I'm working on it." But it's falling a little behind. That's a classic sign of what the docs call heart failure, which sounds terrifying. But it often just means the heart isn't pumping as strongly as it should. It's a slow fade, not a sudden stop. And you can manage it, but you gotta know about it first. Then there's the swelling. Ankles and feet. You look down and you think, my socks are too tight, but they're the same socks you always wear. Or you press your thumb into your shin and the indentation stays there for a few seconds. That's called edema. What's happening is your heart isn't pumping blood effectively. So fluid from your blood vessels starts leaking out into the surrounding tissues. It's like a backup in the plumbing. Your kidneys, which help manage fluid, might not be getting enough blood flow either, so they're not doing their job right. It's a whole system thing, and it all points back to the heart. It's one of those things people write off as, I was on my feet all day, or I ate too much salt. And maybe that's part of it. But if it's happening regularly, that's not your feet talking, that's your heart. Now let's talk about chest stuff, but beyond the classic pain. We already mentioned that heaviness. But there's also a tightness, a pressure, like a belt being cinched around your rib cage. Sometimes it can even feel like an ache in your jaw, or down your left arm, or it might show up as a bizarre pain in your upper back, between your shoulder blades. Your body's nerve wiring is weird like that. The heart can send pain signals to all sorts of places. Angina, that's what that is. It's your heart muscle screaming that it's not getting enough oxygen-rich blood. It's the big, flashing check engine light on your body's dashboard. And the absolute worst thing you can do is ignore it because it goes away after a few minutes. That's the heart managing to rebalance itself for the moment. But the underlying problem, the clogged pipes, are still there. Here's one that sneaks up on a lot of folks. Extreme wipe-you-out fatigue. I'm not talking about feeling a little tired after a long day. I'm talking about a deep, bone-weary exhaustion that makes it hard to even get through your normal routine. You used to putter in the garden for hours, now you're done after 20 minutes and need a 2-hour nap. It's a fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. Why? Because your body is diverting blood and oxygen away from less critical areas, like your muscles in your arms and legs, and sending it to your core, to your brain and heart, so you feel like you're moving through molasses. Your body is in conservation mode. It's prioritizing survival over everything else. That's a huge red flag that your system is running on fumes. Palpitations. That's a fancy word for your heart doing the cha-cha in your chest when you're just sitting still. It might feel like a fluttering, a flip-flop, or like your heart is suddenly pounding for no reason. Or worse, it feels like it skips a beat entirely, and there's a scary, hollow pause. Now everyone gets a skipped beat now and then, especially after too much coffee. But if it's happening frequently, or it comes with dizziness, lightheadedness, or that shortness of breath we talked about, you need to get it checked out. That's an electrical issue. Your heart's natural pacemaker might be getting a little glitchy. It's like the wiring in an old house. It can get frayed over time and needs an electrician to take a look. A cardiologist is your heart's electrician. Dizziness and lightheadedness are major ones too, especially if it happens when you stand up too fast. Now, a little head rush is normal for a lot of people, but if you're feeling genuinely dizzy, like the room is spinning or you feel like you might actually black out, that's a signal that your brain isn't getting enough blood flow for a second. And since your heart is the pump that sends blood to your brain, you see the connection. It could be a blood pressure issue, it could be a rhythm issue, but it all traces back to the ticker. And get this, even something that seems totally unrelated like a persistent cough can be a sign. A cough that won't go away, especially one that produces a white or pinkish frothy mucus. What's that about? Well, if the heart is weak, fluid can back up into the lungs. That's pulmonary edema. Your lungs are basically starting to fill with fluid, and your body's response is to try and cough it out. You might think it's a cold or allergies or even a side effect of a medicine, but if you're hacking away for weeks and your doctor can't find a respiratory cause, it's time to look at the heart. Sleep apnea is another huge and massively underdiagnosed heart stressor. You snore, then you stop breathing for a scary amount of time, then you gasp and snort yourself awake. This might happen dozens of times an hour all night long. Every time you stop breathing, the oxygen level in your blood plummets. This puts immense strain on your heart, forcing it to work harder to pump what little oxygen there is. It's like trying to run a race while holding your breath. It drives up blood pressure and is a major risk factor for heart attacks and atrial fibrillation. If your partner says you sound like a chainsaw and then a drowning man all night, get a sleep study. It's not just about bad sleep. It's about saving your heart. Now let's talk about the silent stuff. High blood pressure, the silent killer. You can feel perfectly fine while your blood pressure is sky high, quietly damaging your arteries, your heart, your kidneys, your brain. It's like having a constant high-pressure fire hose blasting through the delicate pipes of your circulatory system. It causes tiny tears where plaque can build up, making arteries stiff and narrow. It's insidious. Same with high cholesterol. You can't feel it. There's no symptom. That's why getting regular checkups even when you feel great is non-negotiable after 60. You gotta know your numbers. It's like checking the oil in your car. You don't wait for the engine to seize up. So when do you make the appointment? If you're over 65 and you're experiencing any of this stuff, the weird chest pressure, the getting winded, the swollen ankles, the crazy fatigue, the palpitations, just make the call. Don't wait for it to get worse. Don't try to tough it out. I know. Guys, especially, we're the worst. We're programmed to just suck it up. But let me tell you, there is nothing weak about taking care of the one thing that keeps you alive. It's the strongest, smartest thing you can do. The goal here is to catch things early, when they're easiest to manage with lifestyle changes and maybe a pill or two, rather than waiting for a full-blown crisis that lands you in the hospital with stents or worse. What can you expect at the cardiologist? It's not scary. They'll talk to you, really talk to you, about your symptoms and your lifestyle. They'll probably do an EKG, which is just putting some stickers on your chest to read your heart's electricity. It's painless and takes 2 minutes. They might do an echocardiogram, which is an ultrasound of your heart like what they do for pregnant women, but to see your heart valves and muscle pumping. It's cool you get to see your own heart beating on a screen. They might put you on a treadmill for a stress test. It's just to see how your heart performs under a controlled load. This is all information, data, and data gives you power. Power to make a plan, and the plan doesn't have to be awful. It's not all about giving up everything you love. It's about smart swaps. Maybe it's walking 30 minutes a day. Maybe it's adding more vegetables and cutting back a little on the salt and fried foods. Maybe it's a medication to help your heart work more efficiently. This is about adding life to your years, not just years to your life. It's about making sure you've got the energy to play with your grandkids, to travel, to enjoy this golden chapter. Your heart has carried you this far. It's time to return the favor. It's time to listen. So be smart, be proactive, and go get that engine checked. You've earned that peace of mind. Trust me, it's worth it.